Imagine you're standing in your kitchen.
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
Right. You've just finished a long day, you're putting some plates away, and you make this completely innocent, like offhand comment to your partner about how to load the dishwasher.
And you had perfectly good intentions, I'm sure.
Exactly. Perfectly good intentions. But literally 5 seconds later, somehow, you are in a full-blown screaming match about a vacation you took 3 years ago.
It is such a wild, visceral experience, and we've all been there.
Your heart is pounding, the tension is just suffocating, and you're standing there thinking, wait, how did we even get here?
What's really crazy about that kitchen scenario is that both people usually feel completely misunderstood.
Oh, totally. Like you're just speaking different languages.
Exactly. It's like you are trying to tune a radio, right?
Yeah.
You're broadcasting your message on FM, but they are receiving it on AM.
So the signal makes sense to you.
Right. It's strong and clear in your own head, but all they are hearing on their end is just aggressive static.
Aggressive static. That is exactly the feeling. It's just frustration. And bridging that gap, getting both people on the exact same frequency, is what we are unpacking today.
It's a huge topic.
It is. Welcome to the deep dive. We are cracking the code on human communication today, and we're actually pulling our insights from a really fascinating source.
Yeah, this was a great read.
Right. We're looking at a comprehensive guide on relationship and social etiquette. And we found this in the article section of Weddizer, which is it's a platform dedicated to the wedding and bridal relationship space.
Which, honestly, if you think about it, is the ultimate crucible for communication.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, if you can navigate the emotional pressure cooker of wedding planning, like merging families, huge budgets, seating charts.
Seating charts are the worst.
They really are. But if you can do all that without a complete breakdown in communication, you can probably handle any conversation life throws at you. The stakes are just incredibly high.
Exactly. Yeah. But what I love about digging into this Weddizer material is that these core principles aren't just for couples figuring out, floral arrangements.
Right.
The guidance zeroes in on two essential pillars of human connection that apply to literally everyone: empathy and intention.
Two very loaded words.
Very. And if you're listening right now, our goal today isn't to just hand you a list of corporate buzzwords. We want to explore the actual mechanics of how these two traits combine to transform how you interact with everyone.
Yeah, your spouse, your boss, your friends, even a stranger at the grocery store.
Totally.
And we really need to establish why this matters so much right now, because we live in a world where conversations are incredibly rushed.
But always.
Always. We fire off quick replies, we multitask while someone is literally pouring their heart out to us. And when interactions lack empathy and intention, things fracture.
Trust erodes.
Exactly. You end up with those massive kitchen blow-ups over absolutely nothing. But when you understand the mechanics here, these pillars act as the foundation for real respect and harmony.
Okay, so let's unpack this, because before we can smash empathy and intention together to see how they work, we kind of need to understand how we receive information versus how we broadcast it.
Right, receiving versus broadcasting. That's a great way to frame it.
And the receiving part, the taking it in part, that starts with empathy. But I have to admit, for a long time, I just thought of empathy as this single amorphous blob of feeling bad for someone.
You are definitely not alone in that. Empathy is heavily misunderstood.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. People often treat it as just a synonym for being nice or being agreeable.
Right, like just nodding along.
Exactly. But it's a deeply active process. It is not just hearing the words, it's actively listening, recognizing the underlying emotions, and then formulating a response with care.
And the source material breaks this down really well. It points out that empathy actually operates on 3 different levels.
Yeah, which is super helpful to realize.
So the first level is emotional empathy. And this is the one I think we're all most familiar with, right?
Yeah, it's literal emotional contagion.
Like you see someone cry and your own eyes well up.
Precisely. It's a very visceral biological response. Your mirror neurons are firing. You are literally feeling a shadow of what they are feeling.
But here's where I've gotten it wrong in the past. I used to think that was enough.
It's usually not.
Right. Because if my partner is drowning in stress and I just jump in the water and start drowning in stress with them.
Nobody gets saved.
Exactly. We're just both incredibly stressed out in the water.
That is a brilliant analogy, and it's the exact danger of getting stuck in emotional empathy. If you just absorb everyone's stress, you end up with empathic distress.
Which sounds exhausting.
It leads straight to burnout. You become totally paralyzed by the shared emotion, so you have to be able to shift gears into the second level, which is cognitive empathy.
Okay, so cognitive empathy is more intellectual, like perspective taking.
Yes, you might not be crying along with them anymore, but you are mentally mapping out their reality.
Got it.
You're asking yourself, based on their history, their current workload, their core values, why is this specific thing upsetting them so much?
You're building a mental model.
Exactly. You're building a mental model of their emotional state.
But even then, I feel like if I just analyze my partner, I'm going to sound like a therapist diagnosing them in the kitchen.
Oh, people hate that.
Yeah, that usually makes people way more mad.
Yeah.
So that brings us to the third level, which is compassionate empathy.
The sweet spot.
Right. This is where you actually do something about it. So let me try to extend my analogy here to make sure I'm tracking the mechanics.
Let's hear it.
Let's say your partner comes home and they are incredibly stressed about a massive unfair project their boss just dumped on them.
Okay, classic scenario.
Right. So emotional empathy is my own heart rate spiking just listening to them vent.
Yep. Mirror neurons.
Then cognitive empathy is me mentally reviewing the org chart at their company to understand exactly why that boss has the power to ruin their week.
Mental modeling. Perfect.
But compassionate empathy is me realizing they are totally overwhelmed, putting down my phone, and actually going into the kitchen to make dinner so they have one less thing to worry about.
That is the perfect progression. Compassionate empathy is the vital bridge to actionable connection.
Actionable connection, I like that.
Because emotional empathy connects you to the feeling. Cognitive empathy builds the ladder out of the hole, but compassionate empathy is you actually climbing down and helping them up the ladder.
Wow, yeah.
It translates feeling and understanding into real supportive action.
Why is that actionable part so critical when we're talking about resolving conflict, though?
Well, because the root of almost all interpersonal conflict is simply a human being feeling unheard or unseen.
Just validation.
Yes, when a person feels invalidated, their nervous system literally perceives it as a social threat. Their walls go right up.
Defense mode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you deploy compassionate empathy, you are signaling to their nervous system, I see you, I hear you, and I'm here to support you.
And that changes the physical reaction.
The moment they feel that validation, their defense mechanisms power down. You can literally see their shoulders drop.
Okay, but here's where the friction really starts for me. Because just understanding someone's feelings and even wanting to help them is completely useless if you don't know how to steer your own response.
Oh, for sure. Delivery's everything.
Right. I might want to help my stressed partner, but if I sigh heavily and roll my eyes while I'm making that dinner,
The entire thing falls apart.
the message is totally ruined. And that brings us to the second pillar, intention, the art of broadcasting.
Yes. So if empathy is about the art of receiving and understanding the other person, intention is about being fiercely mindful of the how and the why behind your own communication.
It's realizing you're always on the air.
You are always broadcasting every single word you choose, every micro shift in your tone, every physical gesture. It all carries data that the other person is interpreting.
Now, I have to push back on this a little. On behalf of anyone listening who is already feeling exhausted just thinking about this.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
If you're sitting there thinking, I do not have the energy to hyperanalyze every single word I say to my spouse or my boss, I am completely with you.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
Yeah.
Doesn't trying to be intentional all the time make our daily interactions feel robotic? Like I'm reading a rehearsed PR statement in my own living room.
It's a completely valid concern. If intentionality meant scripting your entire life, it would be exhausting.
Nobody wants to do that.
No. But what's fascinating about the mechanics of intention is that it's not about being hypervigilant or masking your true personality. Intention is really just about the pause.
Just to pause.
Just a pause. It's taking a micro moment before you speak, especially in a highly charged emotional situation, to let your brain catch up.
Okay, walk me through what's happening in the brain there.
Well, when you get triggered, say, by that comment about the dishwasher, your amygdala, the fear and emotional center of your brain, it hijacks the whole system.
He wants to fight or flee.
Right.
So my knee-jerk reaction is to instantly snap back about how they never fold the laundry.
Exactly. It's totally automatic. There is zero intention there, just pure defensive reflex. Your amygdala is running the show.
But the pause changes that.
Yes, because your prefrontal cortex, the logical, value-driven part of your brain, needs about a half second to get online.
Oh, wow. It's literally a timing issue.
It's literally biological timing. Intention is just catching that defensive impulse, taking a tiny breath, and asking your higher brain, what is my actual goal here?
So is my goal to win a petty argument about dishes, or is my goal to have a peaceful evening with the person I love?
Exactly. When you pause, you give yourself the power to align your words with your actual goals.
So it's not about sounding like a robot at all.
Not at all.
It's just about not acting on pure reflex.
Yeah.
It's like choosing your destination before you step on the gas pedal.
Precisely. Intention ensures your communication is purposeful rather than just reactive noise.
Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? What happens when we smash empathy and intention together in the real world, especially when tensions are really high?
Let's look at a practical example. Imagine you are in the middle of a disagreement. A typical reactive response might be to get defensive, cross your arms, and shut their argument down.
Right. Block it completely.
But an empathetic and intentional response sounds completely different. It sounds like this. I understand why you feel this way, and I want to find a solution that works for both of us.
I understand why you feel this way, and I want to find a solution that works for both of us. I mean, it sounds so simple,
It does.
but when you really look at it, you can feel how heavily engineered that sentence actually is.
It is entirely engineered around these two pillars.
Okay, break the psychology of that down for me.
Sure. So the first half, I understand why you feel this way, is pure empathy.
You're validating their emotional reality.
Yes. And notice, you aren't necessarily agreeing with their argument. You aren't conceding defeat.
You're just acknowledging that their feelings are real.
Right. Which, going back to what we discussed earlier, powers down their nervous system's defense mechanisms. You've stopped the escalation.
Okay, and then the second half.
The second half, and I want to find a solution that works for both of us, is pure intention. It is goal-oriented collaboration.
You are explicitly stating your purpose out loud.
Exactly. Your purpose is harmony and resolution, not victory.
It really is like verbal martial arts.
I love that comparison.
Like, if someone comes at you with negative, aggressive energy, and you just put up a rigid block of defensiveness, you are both going to get bruised. The impact hurts everyone.
Definitely.
But with this sentence, you are catching their negative energy with the empathy part, absorbing the momentum, and then you are smoothly redirecting that energy toward a shared, positive goal with the intention part.
That is a phenomenal way to visualize it. It fosters collaboration. You're suddenly putting yourselves on the same side of the table, looking at the problem together.
Instead of standing on opposite sides of the room looking at each other as the problem.
Yeah.
And pulling this back to the insights from the Weddizer articles, because they focus so heavily on relationship etiquette and preparing for a lifelong partnership, they highlight some incredibly practical ways to build this dynamic into your life before the fight even happens.
Proactive communication?
Exactly. They talk about the critical importance of daily check-ins, expressing regular appreciation, and resolving conflicts calmly to build long-term intimacy.
Which makes perfect biological and psychological sense. Think about a daily check-in.
It doesn't have to be a massive summit meeting, right?
No, not at all. It's just a scheduled empathy practice. It's a structured moment to ask, where are you at emotionally today?
And the expressing regular appreciation part.
That is intentional broadcasting at its finest. You are making the conscious choice to highlight the good things your partner does.
Right. And doing that builds up this massive reservoir of trust. Like if you've been intentionally expressing appreciation and doing emotional check-ins all week, that sudden annoying conversation about the dishwasher is going to go vastly differently.
So differently.
Compared to if you've been silently building resentment for a month.
Exactly. You've built a buffer.
Yeah.
The relationship actually has the bandwidth to handle the static.
Okay, so we've established that intentionality requires pausing to check your tone, your body language, and your goals.
Yes.
But what happens when you don't have tone or body language to rely on? What happens when you are just sending pixels on a screen?
Yes. The digital minefield.
We have to talk about it.
The ultimate stress test for modern communication. Texting, Slack, email.
The source guidance specifically applies these concepts to digital spaces, and we all know why. I mean, in a text message, tone and context are completely obliterated. You are flying blind.
Totally blind.
We're told to avoid impulsive responses, use clear language, consider how the message might be interpreted, but honestly, how do you apply active listening to a text message?
It's tough.
Are we really just relying on a little heart eyes emoji to do all the emotional heavy lifting for us?
It's a great question because digital empathy requires a completely different psychological tool set.
So?
To understand how to do it right, We have to look at the common mistakes we all make online and understand why we make them.